wine and coffee. Remember, alcohol is not a health food. I know a lot of you hear your doctor saying, oh, it's healthy. You should have, 1 or 2 glasses every night. My husband often says that's because doctors are sometimes lushes. Okay, I don't know about that. What I'm telling you is it's not a health food. If you have 1 to 2 glasses a week, it's probably not going to sabotage you. It's not going to be really detrimental to your health. More than that, you're starting to get into an area where it's not good for your brain, and it does begin to affect other areas, and it's worse for women. Study done at Harvard showed that women who had 1 glass of wine every night actually radically increased their risk of breast cancer. So because it actually turns into the bad form of estrogen. So you don't want to be drinking every night. It gives you a smaller brain. And for those of you with ADD, it actually decreases the function of your frontal lobes so that you're not making as good decisions, which means you're then going to likely go binge on something you shouldn't. And if you have ADD, you already have trouble with your frontal lobes. So this program is going to help you with frontal lobe function unless you're drinking all the time. So that's the answer with wine. 1 to 2 glasses a week, but not during phase 1. Give it 2 weeks at least. Then you can have a little bit of wine. Coffee. Coffee is one of those things that it's a very interesting thing. The research is literally split down the middle. So half of the research says coffee is like one of the best things on the planet, and the other half of the research says it's of the devil. So which is it, right? Well, the truth is it really depends, because there's something in coffee called kahewol. Kahewol is one of the most potent antioxidants on the planet. Coffee's loaded with antioxidants as long as you're getting organic coffee and it's not filled with pesticides, and you're not putting a bunch of garbage in it, like dairy and sugar and all that stuff. That stuff kills it for you. But the issue with coffee tends to be how people metabolize it. So if you're a slow metabolizer and it takes a long time for you to metabolize things, like let's say you take medication and a tiny dose actually really affects you strongly and it lasts for a long time, that means you're a slow metabolizer. It also means that coffee probably has more of a negative effect on you, on your heart and on your system. It's probably revving you up a little too much. If you're a fast metabolizer, then probably the caffeine in the coffee is probably not affecting you quite as much. If you've ever seen people in Italy, they'll drink cappuccino, several of them, with dinner, and then they'll go home and crash. That's because they metabolize fast. Yes, part of it's genetic, but you can do a very simple test. Check your blood pressure and your heart rate before you have coffee. Check it again afterwards. See if there's a dramatic increase. Also, if you have a cup of coffee at noon and you can't sleep that night, that means you're metabolizing really slow, and you want to be very careful. The simple answer, if you're going to drink coffee, don't drink more than, definitely not more than 2 cups. Try to cut it down to 1 cup and alternate and switch it off with some green tea. So maybe if you have 1 cup in the morning, but a small cup, we're not talking, one of these venti size cups. Have a small cup of coffee in the morning and then green tea. Green tea is very different. It's very healthy for you. And the theanine in green tea actually balances out the effect of the caffeine. So it's a very different type of, it increases your focus, but it doesn't make you nervous and anxious. It's actually a lot better for you. And one of the tricks that I do is because I like the idea of coffee, I really do. So what I do is I actually make half calf coffee in the morning, so half decaf, half regular, I brew it that way. And then I actually make it with, I turn it into an almond milk latte, which means that I take almond milk, heat it up, and I use half of the half calf coffee and half almond milk. So now I've got quarter calf coffee, but it tastes really good. And I put a little bit of coconut oil and some ghee in it and sprinkle it with cinnamon, blend it in the blender so it gets all frothy. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It makes you full. The coconut the coconut oil actually helps you to burn fat. So it's revving your metabolism. It's not spiking blood sugar. And I put a tiny bit of chocolate stevia in it and it tastes like a mocha. Awesome. So those are some of the tricks you can do. And that way I'm not getting much caffeine. I'm getting the idea of the coffee. And, it's a really nice comfort food. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you next week.